Welcome everyone to LRG Podcast. We are covering a very special little recap thing. Bill had the great idea to do weekly recaps, kind of just like Big Brother. We will be covering every week up to the finale 2 on season 2 of Big Brother Hogwarts. First of all, want to welcome our headmaster of them all, Bill. How are we tonight?
Bill is doing good. It's been a long couple of weeks. I've been missing the castle so much. So it's really awesome to be here and to get to talk to everybody and to get to share everything that we've done and things that we're going to do soon. So awesome. Hi,
Yay.
How are you?
Well, Bill, you've been really busy. You were at another LRG just kind of recently in between our recaps, right?
I was.
Shout out to Survive. So
Yes.
highly recommend the series, Nikki.
Very great job. It was very wonderful. I got to meet a bunch of people that I'd never met before. I got to see what another Survivor game looks like. I had a blast running around with my little camera. So I've got some new tips and tricks for Chris for season 3.
Bill says we're waking up at like 5 a.m. So Payton, be ready for that.
Okay.
So we have some comments coming in. I don't know if this person is just I don't know, very mysterious here on Facebook. I
was like, who do I have blocked? But I was like,
it doesn't show. It's Kennedy. Kendi?
Kendi.
Kendi. Well, Kendi's ready to party, it looks like. So Lexi shots anyone?
Oh.
We know that very well. So let's get introductions done first, and then Lexi shot. So Kendi, you get your shot ready too. Payton, we'll skip to you quickly. Welcome as well.
Hey.
Just to recap here real quick. It's so weird. It's not showing anyone on the StreamYard, which is strange.
Yeah,
but it's the first time we're streaming to a private group, so that could be the case. So we probably have everybody under private. So if you want your name mentioned, just put it in the comment before and then your comment so we know who we're talking to.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want to pretend to be somebody else. I just figured out the system here, y'all. So, hey, Heather actually is watching over on our YouTube channel. She says, aloha. So hopefully you're having a great time in Hawaii, perhaps. So anyway, our other special guest here, notably Queen of the Block, Lexi. Welcome.
So glad to be back.
So you missed a big announcement on our first recap of the reunion. Bill, you just want to restate and we can do a little celebratory yay?
Yeah, so obviously this is very recent because this is only season 2 of BBH, but something that we did online for the org version was also something that I wanted to include in the live game. And this was where cast members who competed in that particular season basically would vote for like a congenial award, like favorite player, most well-rounded person, best person to be around, blah, blah, blah.
Payton was not an option, so it's okay. So
Payton was not an option. And Nikki, who hosted Survive that I helped, won it in season 1. We call this the Patronus Award. And with more than half of the votes, our season 2 Patronus winner is none other than Lexi. So Lexi, congratulations. I know that that's really cool. You've never played one of these
so
before.
Cool.
So what does that feel like?
It's so cool. It's so cool that I've never played a game. And I feel like at least I was able to feel everyone's vibe and like meet everybody in the deep possible way I can and just kind of share my personality with everyone. So I'm glad I was able to get that across and actually experience that. And I thank you guys. That's sweet.
We just want to say thank you for coining one of our most favorite terms of all season. It's the Lexi shot. So for folks that don't know, Lexi was a little inexperienced before coming up to Big Brother Hogwarts, how to bore a shot properly. So we've coined the term Lexi shot. So if everyone in the comments, looks like Benji is here with us. Reynolds is also watching here on YouTube. And then Kendall once again. So cheers to Lexi and congratulations once again, okay?
Thank you. Oh,
are we doing it now? Oh, I got
doing it now.
Cheers. With my
your magical one. Show off.
Cheers. Good job, Lexi. Proud of you.
Oh. Mine was thematic too. It's fireball, so it's like casting a spell.
I didn't have tequila, so it's vodka for me.
There you go.
Always vodka for me.
I almost bought tequila just for this situation.
You should have.
I couldn't do it. I was like, it's gonna sit on my shelf the whole night.
We got some cheers and emojis from other people. Like I said, I think so. Big Brother Hogwarts is set up as a private group. So if you're not a member yet, make sure you search on Facebook and join us. We have applications open and everything right now. But most importantly, you'll see these wonderful recaps, and you can post anonymously, I guess. So
I have it pulled up. That's Chris Gartner.
Hey. This is fun. It's like Guess Who, I guess.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of Guess Who, we are kind of be going over week 1 of Big Brother Hogwarts. One of the most iconic starting challenges, I want to say. Some of our players even have it still memorized in their head. Bill, you're, of course, the mastermind behind this. Where did you think of this concept of Simon Bricks?
Well, I don't know what it was, but at some point at the end of Big Brother Hogwarts season 1, I mean, I literally think it was sitting there watching everybody ask the final 2 of Frank and Frank and James. Sorry, I had to go back in my mind for a second. All of their questions. I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, all right, like, this is about to be over. Something that you've been wanting to do for years and years and years is about to be finished. Like, are we going to be done, or are we going to move on and do a second season? And I knew that the 7 people that were watching at 3:00 in the morning were going to want to know what was happening. And it kind of just slipped out of my mouth that I was like, you might be in for something sweet. And I kind of just rolled with this off the cuff idea of Hogsmeade, really. I was thinking of like the candy store. And then I thought, well, a season has to be a lot bigger than that. So if I'm just want to do a store, why not do all of them? And then that's really when I started to come up with the idea of Diagon Alley. And I remembered that moment in the book, in the first Harry Potter book, when Hagrid taps all of the bricks and the bricks move so Harry Potter can go into Diagon Alley, was just so visually stunning on paper. Like, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I saw it in my head. And then to see the movie when it came out in theaters and the whole screen, the bricks are all moving. And then to go to Universal Studios Florida and like, it's not as crazy, but to like walk through their little intricate thing, or to even go through the holograph when you're entering the Hogwarts Express to see it on your phone that you're going into the wall. I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. This really is what started Harry Potter's journey into figuring out who he was and what his identity is and what being a wizard and skilled in the magical arts even means. And I knew that if I'm going to take everybody to Diagon Alley for season 2, I've got to take them to Diagon Alley. So I wanted them to like enter the brick wall, and the tapping of the bricks just in my head. I was like, Simon says, tap this brick, tap that brick. And then I remembered the game as a kid, and I just cut out a red and blue and yellow and green square, plugged it on the brick wall, and I said, shit, let's go. I did watch the Simon video over and over and over again to memorize the pattern. So I like wrote it all down and I did it all word for word. So that was really exhausting. And then running this competition for an hour was really exhausting. I really didn't think it would go that long. But I wanted it to be something that everybody could like fairly do decent in. I mean, I knew remembering like 12 colors like eventually was going to get hard, but I didn't think anybody would get eliminated right away. I thought it could be somewhat close. The game that everybody was familiar with, the rules were really easy. And I just thought going into the brick wall at the start of the game would be such a cool way to open BBH 2.
Speaking of, Lexi, do you remember any of the combination? Do you remember what the starting color was? Because Nick has it ingrained in his mind, it seems like, in the comments.
I don't know. I have a really bad memory. That's something about me. So I'm surprised I even did as well as I did at that game. I think I got like 8, but if I had to guess a color, it was like yellow.
It was. Good job.
Yellow?
Well, I'm taking his word for it because the song he coined was pretty. Bill, do you remember how the start was?
I don't know how he went. How he like did his song. I mean, I could pull up the actual sequence of colors.
All right, I'll let you know. Yellow, blue, blue, yellow. That's how it started.
There you go. We will see a bunch of people do that. I'm pulling up the video now so we can play it and kind of like talk about it while we're going. And funny enough, Lexi is the first person. So not only has Lexi never played a game before, but then I think Lexi was like randomly selected to go first to play this game that she has no idea what she's even store for.
And speaking of that game getting in there, Lexi, like this is your first time going into show off here. Like, I'm assuming this must be Nick in the comments, knowing the whole combination or somebody.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. We have a little clip from Bill.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna play.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Blue.
I was so nervous.
Yellow, blue, blue. Yellow, blue, blue, yellow.
Can you hear it?
Yellow,
Yeah.
blue, blue, yellow, red. Yellow, blue.
You were so
blue,
nervous. You were
yellow,
so
I
sweet.
was shaking.
You did really good. Like, look at how far you got.
I wouldn't have got that far.
Yellow, blue, blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue.
I'm just impressed about how well Bill did. Like, Bill, you didn't stumble over any colors or anything. You just kept going with it.
I did when Nick came up because his little song, we could play that. But it was
Yellow,
screwing me up.
blue, blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue, blue.
That was so hard though. I had it like blown up to like 300% on my phone so I could like follow along and not get lost.
Yellow, blue, blue.
I think we're bringing some stress back for some of our players. Sorry, Benji. And I know our viewers too. We're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so ingrained into this video.
So let's see. Kendra was next. Kendra did quite well too. I can't remember. It really came down to 3 people. Was it Josh, Jack, Nick? I think Stacy did really well.
I think Stacy got really far too. I know we have some requests in the comments right now to view Stacy's video.
Oh, yes, we will definitely. I wish that this was like YouTube where I could see where I'm dragging. Tori was next. I remember that.
That's good. It's like a mystery.
Oh, there's
There's
Jack.
Jack. Gone too soon. Let's just listen to it.
Here's one thing. Poor guy.
Yellow, blue, blue. Yellow, red, yellow. Blue, blue. Yellow, green, red.
There's no
Yellow,
fucking-
blue, blue. Yellow, red, yellow, blue, blue. Yellow, green, red.
And what's funny is everybody had like different ways of tapping these bricks. Like Tori would just like conductor wave his wand and not actually touch them. Jack's touching them. Lexi is like as sweet as a delicate little flower, like barely wanting to touch it, but tapped it. And then you
Nick
get
is like destroying the wall.
Nick and Stacy are like beating the wall up. There was Dewan. Dewan did decent. Benji did all right. I'm trying to find.
I don't remember. I'm sure we have this breakdown on how everyone did. So
Here we go. Here's Nick. So Nick had a really interesting strategy as a music teacher.
Any
He
questions?
decided to put a beat to
All
everything,
right.
which is
Good
really smart.
luck.
Memory's so bad for me.
All right, here you go. Yellow,
Yellow,
yellow, blue.
yellow, blue,
Yellow, blue, blue.
yellow, blue, blue.
Yellow.
A little bit, just to get his
Yeah, because he went for 2 hours.
so long.
well, the whole competition lasted a little bit over an hour. So
Green. Correct. Yellow, blue, blue, yellow, red. Yellow, blue, blue, yellow, green, red.
Listen to what he does.
Yellow, blue, blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue, blue, yellow,
Mm.
green, yellow, green, red.
So he almost
we need to
treated
remix this.
like this drum, like he's popping a drum, and that's what was really screwing me up. Because if you were watching live, I was doing really really good, and then Nick happened, and I had to like get it in my head to not say it like how he was saying it, because I knew that would help him further,
Yeah.
right? If I'm matching his flow, so I'm like, okay, you can't say it like how Nick's saying it because everyone's gonna be like, you sounded exactly like him. That's why he did so well. So that was really really hard for me. But yeah, he killed this. He totally knocked it out of the park. Lexi, did you even think of anything like that, or were you just like just memorize the colors?
No, I was thinking about like the game Bop It, and I've always been good at that game. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna see how far I can get. I haven't played a memory game in a while, and I did decent, I think, for my first game ever.
For the people that already went, were you kind of keeping track and how long people stayed in there? Did you have a little
Oh.
assumption about who was going to win?
Yeah. I mean, at first, we weren't sure if everyone was gonna share how many they got, or if people were gonna lie about how many they got or whatnot. But I think we were all pretty open about how many taps we got.
Christy.
Aw.
Mm.
Ray, from what I can remember, didn't do that well. Here's Stacey.
Here we go. Angel has specially requested this one.
Yellow, blue, blue.
You could hear it.
Yellow,
Yeah,
red,
yeah.
yellow, blue, blue.
Damn.
Yellow, blue, blue, yellow, red, yellow.
Me and Chris
blue,
and
blue,
on
yellow,
Hell, we were all like looking at each other
blue, blue, yellow, red, yellow,
afterwards.
blue, yellow. Yellow, blue, blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, green. Yellow,
Yeah, so she was like, really?
yellow,
Let me
red,
go to
yellow.
after hers because we were like, oh my God. If we got it on camera.
Was Stacy our last one too?
I don't think so. Erica was our last one.
That's right.
Yeah, because Erica was like, I'm so gonna win this, and got like 2.
Oh, someone fell. I don't know who's...
Second door on the left will take you down to the garage, and that is where you can hang out.
Oh no, you're
Second door
just
on your
hiding.
left.
Oh, look, it's me. I'm laying
Oh,
I'm
Dustin was on the
hiding.
floor. I wonder what he was doing down there.
I hide all the time.
Okay, here we go.
Dustin, you have something in your pocket you wanted to show me?
Oh, this.
Oh,
That's
Oh yeah, this was that power. So yeah, but we could talk about this actually. Before
okay.
before the round. Oh yeah, here we go. We're making fun of her here. I was like, I
Fucking
thought
that.
we got it. On
Okay,
camera.
so
there was something legitimately in my pocket. Okay, folks.
Dustin, you have something in your pocket you wanted to show me? That sounded weird.
She's beating the shit out of that.
Okay, can we talk about that really quick? She was whacking that. Okay, so everybody, this is
Like, it was so obvious that she was destroying it. We were like, oh my God, don't break the, because this is where production slept. So for those of you that are watching, this was a hallway that went into a room, and that room was just a disaster because we had it was like literally a brother and sister's like bunk bedroom, like not really a big room. And we had every single supply for every single competition in this room with this tiny little closet. At one point, we blew up all of the balloons for the Pop It challenge, and they're just like all over overnight. We like couldn't even turn the fan on because the balloons were flying everywhere. So this brick wall like kind of stopped the cast members from going into the prod room because that's where everything was. And we eventually took the colored bricks off of it. But before the game started, like as I was kind of explaining the rules and the twist, and Lexi, I'm actually really interested to hear from you. We put this chocolate frogs case open with the wizard card of Shiley in it. And the wizard cards was like a big twist of the season. They were cut into pieces, and if you won a competition or survived the block, you got to stick your hand in a cauldron and pick a wizard's card. I really wanted to have some sort of like collaborative element to this game where I was really nervous that the teams were just going to gang up on other teams. Like the Slytherins were going to go for the Hufflepuffs, or the Hufflepuffs were going to go for the Gryffindors. That's kind of what had been happening on the online version, and a little bit sort of kind of happened in season 1. So this was my theory to kind of combat that. If I can get a collaborative twist embedded into the game, maybe everybody from all of the houses are going to have to just constantly work with each other, because you never know who's going to have all of these pieces. You really, like, one person wasn't going to be able to build a wizard card. We really made it so you had to share and you had to like gift pieces to other people.
Except for this first one.
Except for this first one. So this first one was in full, it was intact, and it was displayed right behind me on the like mantle of the entertainment center or whatever. Was this obvious, Lexi? Did you see this at all when I was explaining the rules? because it was up there the whole time, and then Michael eventually snatched it while we were
And
about.
speaking of, Michael's actually here in the viewers.
Oh, there
So
you go. But did you even know that this was behind us, Lexi?
No. Okay, so if I remember correctly, we were all sitting in those chairs, right? You had pre-prepared the chairs lined up for the first time? No. I don't know if it was the direction I was sitting in or if it's because it was my first game. So I was like I was so concentrated on like making sure I understood the rules, and I was like so nervous. I didn't see it. I didn't know it was even there until somebody said that Michael snatched it. And I was like,
people
really?
like that
Who
play
told you?
orgs like know to look. Like you didn't know. Like you would never know to look for that.
Well, right. I don't know.
But did other people in the game tell you, oh yeah, I saw it, it was behind Bill, or did people just go, oh, we found it?
No, people just announced that they found it, I thought. From what I remember.
So Shiley was our first winner, or the HOH of the first season. So her card basically just let someone be safe. So the holder of the card got to not play in any of the competitions. So no HOH or POV, and they couldn't vote either, but they were safe. They couldn't be nominated. They couldn't be renominated. So that's what that all says. And Michael, like really, I've heard stories from Nick that they kind of like worked together. Like Nick saw it, Michael saw it, so Nick tried to distract everyone so Michael could snatch it. And then it ended up working out.
Nick actually told me that Michael got it. Like he was like, "Go talk to Michael because Michael snatched."
Yeah, so they knew. Like I think the two of them did kind of work together to facilitate the collection of this, and I mean it worked in their favor because, well, I don't know, I don't think Michael was ever in trouble in week 1, but you never know. And then Nick ended up being the HOH, so they really kind of held a lot of power that week or that round, honestly. And then Erica was our last one. She didn't make it that far at all. Sorry, Erica.
He literally was like, "I'm gonna win this. Like I'm so good."
She was so confident, and then she made it like 5 sequences.
Michael elaborates a little bit here in the comments. It looks like Nick told me it was there and made everyone look in the opposite wall so I could grab it.
Wow.
And then after that, everybody kind of gathered downstairs, and I don't remember if this is where we announced who won. I think I brought everybody back up, so let me stop sharing.
We had a bunch of little, like, you saw Josh there playing little yard games. We had a lot of, like, bocce balls, just fun activities for people to do. I wouldn't say downtime, but we did have a little bit of free time that people would just mingle, of course, and chat about the game. Or, of course, when people eventually got voted out, fun games to do and just stuff to do outside.
Yeah, we wanted to like set something up. I'm not sure if people really played it. Were people playing it?
Well,
Yeah.
Josh was just playing it in the
Okay,
video. I was like, oh, good, someone actually used it, and not strategizing all the time because that's what everybody does.
Yeah, we were all just kind of sitting on the driveway, waiting for everyone to get down. We're like, ooh, who's coming down the stairs next?
Well, you were probably nervous too. Did you have any suspicions that maybe, Lexi, you might have been a target?
No, not in the beginning. I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't think I'd be picked. I don't know. I had like that little intuitive feeling right before he said my name. I was like, oh, why would I not see this coming? But it was a good experience to get picked first.
Yeah. What was your reaction when Nick said your name as the first noms? Am I too soon, Bill?
we can play it and we can see.
Go ahead.
We've got the budget.
First, head of household, head of Hogwarts, season 2. The floor is yours. You now have the responsibility to nominate 2 students for expulsion. Go ahead.
I was pretty transparent saying that I felt like being last one in was a big determining factor in the fact that I could be first one out for that. And it was a big fire under my ass to want the HOH because I've seen it so many times in games that happens. But that, unfortunately, because I was the last one here, it also gave you the least amount of time to connect. And that sucks a lot. And I really hope we're not doing expulsion tonight, because give us all time to get into it.
Not him telling me how I should run my game.
But
Right.
my two nominees, I'm just
It's like he runs his own game or something.
Who I disconnected with. I'm super, super duper sorry. Jack and Lexi, I'm going to nominate you for expulsion.
All right, Jack and Lexi, you are nominated for expulsion. Go ahead and take your seat. And then let's get a picture. Can someone get a picture of our
We were really for the first like 3
Great
rounds,
time,
and
Bill.
then-
Like
I was like, "Jeez."
right when Jack and Lexi are crying, it's like picture time.
Right? How awkward is that? Let's take a picture of the HOH and the 2 people's lives he's about to destroy. So yeah, what was it like? Because on the car ride up, Lexi, you were for weeks actually leading up to this. Like you were texting me at night. We were talking about it on the way home. Like, I just hope I know what I'm doing. I hope people like me. I don't want to go first. Like, and now here you are. Your worst fear, your biggest nightmare coming into this is I just don't want to get nominated first, and you're getting nominated first. So what did that feel like as a first timer? Were you prepared for it? Did you expect it? What was your reaction? What was going on?
I think as soon as Nick was nominated, I had the feeling, because I was the first person there and he was the last person there. And for some reason, in the beginning of the game, we didn't gravitate towards each other really. Like we barely had any conversation. I didn't know a lot about him. He didn't know a lot about me. So I had that gut feeling after he won that I'd be going up. But I had like a little bit of hope because of who I was up against, because I didn't know them as well either, like as much. Like I think the 2 people I wasn't as close with in the beginning of the game would be Jack and Nick. So I think I got lucky like in that situation, because if I was up against somebody I had made friends with, or I was already getting to know well, I feel like that would put me in an awkward situation with like my allies and who I was trying to gain trust from,
So do you think that like pre-game, like before the game started, while you all were lingering, chatting before we were about to eat, drinking the champagne, that really helped you out? You were able to really kind of take some time and get to know all of these people. And do you think that's what made you feel a little bit more safe sitting next to Jack?
Yeah, I think so. I don't really remember when Jack got there, but I think that I was glad I got there early because I was able to talk to as many people as I could before I was even nominated.
Well, that's why it was so weird, because he got there midway through, and I was like, "There's already people here if you want to go strategize, or I can take you to your room." And he was like, "Take me to my room." I was like, "Oh, okay."
And
Maybe he had
Lexi,
a
you had a little awkwardness getting to know people too, because you had to pretty much start off the bat with a lie to people. You weren't just gonna say, "Hey, I drove up here with Bill," after all.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even a plan. I didn't even tell anybody I wasn't going to tell. I didn't tell Bill I wasn't going to tell anybody that he was my cousin. So before I got like kicked off, he had to ask me if I had spoken to anybody about him being my cousin, because he didn't even know. But no, I
Your
feel
lie
like
was iconic, though. Like the lie.
Let's talk about that lie. I know that wasn't this round, I don't think, when that
no,
happened.
I know I'm getting ahead of
But that's fine. We have you now. So I remember, Payton, were you and I next to each other, or was I next to Chris? It was
You were
and I.
next to me, and we looked at each other. We were like,
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
Payton and
like,
I were doing
"She knows what
something,
she's doing."
and then Lexi and Dewan were talking. And what was that interaction like?
I think you said something like, "Oh, okay, so you and Bill are both from Chicago?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Okay, so you guys didn't know each other before coming here?" I'm like, "No, I mean, I knew of him. I think I said he's my best friend's cousin. And she was supposed to be here, but she had a baby shower to go to." That's what came out of my
Spot.
So
And this is Dewan in the comments right here too. So Dewan's watching this. Like,
Yeah.
untold.
my favorite duo of the whole season. I'm sorry to all of the other
I
duos,
miss
but
you.
I loved the Lexi Dewan duo
Me
for
too.
sure.
my favorite one.
And then Lexi said that, and I like literally like grabbed Payton by the arm and pulled him into the production room, and we like jumped up and down like someone was about to get married, and I was like, "That's my fucking cousin." I didn't even tell her how to lie like that.
We were like, our baby,
So
she's
good.
gonna win. Oh my
Yes, our
god.
baby. She's gonna Taylor Hale her way to the end, and we got really, really close. But I was
We literally were
proud.
calling you Taylor Hale throughout the whole game. You were like Block Star Queen.
I was getting, I think that was another reason why I didn't want to watch the confessional. So I'm very excited to see them because like I was so nervous every time you were there on the block. I was like, oh, I don't want her to go. I don't want her to go. But I couldn't show that, right? Because we didn't want anybody to know that we were related. So it was really funny to watch you kind of really just come up with that lie really quickly. I mean,
And
it
this
was
is Dewan still too, so Lex. So
it was awesome. So
He says he
cast
loves
this
you
girl.
again.
Cast this girl, everybody. I didn't teach her nothing. Payton didn't teach her nothing. She did all that on her own. It was
Thank
awesome.
God you didn't teach her anything, because then she would have lost even more.
Right? Yeah, she would have lost a long time ago. That's for sure. So our first noms on the block were Jack and Lexi. So immediately our Hufflepuff curse strikes again. Hufflepuff on the block, round 1, next to a Gryffindor, which was interesting because a lot of the times when I host this, Gryffindors, you don't see them get nominated so early because they're kind of talking to everybody. But it was you two on the block, and one of the clues that I put on the Facebook group leading up to the game was it was some sort of rhyme about how, like, don't you think surviving round 1 would be sweet? You better gear up for some kind of treat or something. It was like a clue to kind of tell them that you're going to be consuming something. And I think a lot of people came into this game thinking that the HOH was going to be an eating competition. I think Kendra had said it. Nick had said it. A couple of people were really nervous about that they were going to have to eat something. And that was really a clue to the Power of Prefect competition, which was, I think, Ray's favorite title, You Butter Work Bitch, I think was what it was called. And this, I really originally wanted it to be the competition from Big Brother where they, in like a 1 tablespoon, have to like slip and slide the soap to the other end to lift the ping pong ball up. But just
I told Bill that would be too dangerous, and we don't have
a little dangerous. We didn't have the space. I realized like getting 6 people to do that was going to be really difficult in the space that we had. So we had to think of something as we were leading up to the game, knowing the yard that we had. And we kind of decided to just make it like you got to toss the water into your cup.
It looks like Erica had that same idea too, that it was going to be an eating.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, a lot of people thought that we were going to eat. I think that was like the first or second clue. And then that brought us over to the pop comp, which
While you're pulling that up, Lexi, let's say that you are a memorizing queen and you have just one Simon Briggs. Who are you putting up on the block?
Yeah, let's play that game.
Oh, okay, wait. I probably, because of the people I've talked to, I probably would have put Tori up because I didn't talk to him for a while into the game, and Erica because I didn't talk to her for a while into the game too. So
and I never got nominated, so that would have taken away one of his things that he could have said in the end had he got there.
Right.
Yeah, interesting. So 2 Slytherins.
Yeah.
Look at you. Good. Go after those Slytherins. Good job.
Ooh, no.
So this was the pop comp. I thought it was really fun. Ray totally destroyed this. I think it was like 3 minutes, and we had a win.
Lexi almost beat him.
It was really close.
Was it close?
Yeah. Lexi almost won.
So we
It's
had
kind of
to
quick comp.
we like measured this. I can't remember who I was measuring it with. Was I measuring it with you, Dustyn?
I think
You
so. And
made
then,
me taste every single one of those.
Yeah. So Chris and Payton, or maybe it was just Payton, I made him taste every single, like take a spoonful out of every bucket to make sure every bucket tasted identical. I didn't want one person's to be too sweeter or one person's to taste too much like water. We had the tape measure out. I made sure everybody was in the same distance. Some people are taller than others, so they were able to get closer to their cup, but we were like meticulous to the like millimeter of how far these things were and how much They
And
taste
I
good.
will tell you, like, Bill is very, very meticulous. Like, I thought I was like, oh, it's good enough, close enough, but Bill's like, we have to
We're
have
like,
it.
no, it's a millimeter off. Move it up.
They had to overflow it. Like I wasn't gonna let them grab it until it overflowed.
Oh.
So Ray's was the first, and then
Yeah.
Lexi's was right
And he
behind.
was struggling to drink that too.
He was.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why Lexi
Lexi.
almost drank it faster.
There you go. And then Ray
And then
went.
she finishes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Aw.
Which at that point, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know if Ray's watching at all, and I don't want to talk shit about Ray's game, but he was already like I guess this was his first big win, but then he kept doing well in challenges. Like if it's well, I mean, I guess you never know who's gonna get nominated. So in that first power of prefect, you just want to be safe. But I don't know if I would have like
If it's me, I'm throwing the first veto. I
Yeah,
don't even want to play.
between me and Lexi's right behind me.
I mean, you don't want to be put up as a renom though, just
Yeah,
in case
that's
something
true.
were to
That's
happen.
I mean, I feel like I don't think anyone would have saved Jack, and I feel like Jack would have just. I don't know. At that point, it's so hard to know, though.
Yeah. So that was fun. It was really cool to see how close you were. What were you thinking, Lexi, when it slipped
And
from
how
the-
did it taste?
Yeah, and how did it
Oh.
taste? Tell me about this.
Okay, so unpopular opinion, but I liked the taste of it. I was like,
Okay.
Payton, how was your taste on it?
It was disgusting. I don't like sweet things in my mouth, though.
but during the competition, all I can say is that my thighs were on fire because the tactic that I chose was to squat the entire time. And like, and I don't know if it was smart or not, but it was like a workout.
It
And
worked. I mean, you
it
were
worked.
right up there behind Ray. So what you
Yeah.
decided to do worked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just glad in the moment that the person that I picked won because I was starting to feel a little bit more safe. Even if he didn't pick me, I felt like a little bit of power was in my hand because everyone saw me pick him.
Yeah, what was the thought process behind that?
I think he was the person that I got along with the most before we played the first game. So I felt like I was just going to go with my safest bet. Somebody who I thought I had the best chance of them picking me to take me out, maybe to gain my trust in the beginning. I really did not know what I was doing, but
Were you expecting him to save you?
no.
It
Well,
was a solid
yes.
choice. It was a solid choice.
Yeah.
He thought about saving you.
Yeah, I kind of did expect him to think about it. I don't know if I really expected anything. I didn't know what to expect, but I had the most faith in him, so I just went with my gut.
So would you say, like, at the end of this whole thing, was Ray your biggest ally or was Dewan your biggest ally? I'm going to make you choose while they may or may not be watching because I'm evil like that.
Dewan was here earlier, so not to pressure you one way or another.
I know that you were with Dewan a little bit longer than you were with Ray, but let's say Ray didn't get eliminated as early as he did and was in there with you as long as Dewan was. If you had to save them, they're both on the block. Who are you saving?
Okay. So it depends how deep into the game we are because the teams matter, I think. So Ray was on Slytherin. Dewan was on my same team, Gryffindor. So I think I would save Ray in hopes that his team would gain more trust in me, you know?
Oh, okay, smart.
Right? Ta-da.
Some cross-tribe alliances going on.
But I love Dewan. I still love you. But I would have saved Ray.
Michael is putting his name in the hat too. So like, okay, three-way,
Yeah,
we're still saving.
Alliance with Michael. I think Michael helped me gain a lot of the info that I wouldn't have gained from like he was a good observer. He would take things and tell me. I feel like he was good at like finding things out that I was not in the loop for. So
Michael was
It was-
everywhere. That boy.
mhm.
See, this is all news to me because, like, I don't watch them strategize. I'm not in the confessionals. I'm really
That's why it was so exhausting for me because I had to be present for all of these fucking conversations in case someone had fucking power.
You were there for all the powers and everything.
Yeah. Wow, I had no idea that you were like so close to Michael, honestly. That's news to me.
Yeah.
What's
I don't know.
also news to Bill are the confessionals going into the vote. So Nom stay the same. Ray doesn't save you. Lexi and Jack are still on the block. Lexi, how percentage wise, how are you feeling about it?
Feeling about being on the block?
You're gonna stay or go?
When are you talking about during in the
Mhm.
moment?
Right
Like,
before votes. Like, do you think you're safe?
I had a lot of confidence that I was gonna stay. I kind of pretty much everybody came up to me and kind of comforted me. They were like, "You're gonna be okay. You're new. You've talked to the most people." So I felt confident. Yeah, for sure.
Did
'Cause
you?
Bill
So
was
we
scared.
left you. We left you both on the block. Yeah, I was nervous. I was just, she's gonna
Mhm.
go. They're gonna take her out. Blah 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 blah. I thought for sure you were out of there. I had zero faith. I'm so sorry. Not that I didn't have any faith in you. I didn't have any faith that these vets were gonna keep a newbie around. But then I'm hearing Jack didn't put himself out there too much. So you two were both on the block overnight. That's something that I try to do in my game. You play a lot of survivor games out there, and usually nobody goes home. You play for reward. Everybody gets a night in the woods, usually. And I kind of wanted to reflect that model in Big Brother Hogwarts. People are paying money. They're flying from out of state. I feel like everybody deserves an equal shot that first night. So I definitely wanted you and Jack to stay on the block overnight. How much work did you put in? How much work did he put in? What was the night like? Because we partied, I think, a little bit too much than we should have that first night. But then when I went to bed, I went to bed. Like I wasn't paying attention to what you guys were saying. So how long was it? Did you have to campaign for a while or not so much?
I would say, well, I know I was up till like 3 a.m. that night, and I know Jack went to bed a little earlier. But I don't know if I would really call it campaigning, like the kind of work I was putting into it. I feel like I was more trying to create legit relationships with people in hopes that that would kind of move or sway them to vote for me. Because these people have never met me before. I didn't even know that there were so many people in the game that knew each other already. So that probably helped me out too. Because if I gained somebody's trust, I might have gained like 2 other people's trust or vote.
You're already so smart. I'm so like proud of you. Like this
And
is so
never seen Big Brother, never watched Survivor. Like you didn't watch any of it before the game, right?
No, not before the
Yeah.
game. I think I've watched 1 season of Big Brother, but I wasn't like prepping. It was probably like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, it was on Netflix. I'm like, what is this?
Erica has an interesting take on this. It doesn't sound like it was anything too strategic or anything, but she definitely thinks it was the Lexi shots that saved you.
Well,
They didn't want to vote you out. They wanted more Lexi shots.
we also didn't talk about the fact that one, Jack went to bed early, but he also told people to use the veto to save Lexi and not himself. He like campaigned against himself.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Well, he said that in his speech in veto. He was like, "I think you should use a veto for Lexi." And he was like, "I don't want to stay." Basically, he didn't say that, but he was like, "Use a veto on Lexi." Basically, so he like was like campaigning for Lexi to stay and then went to bed early.
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's
Wait.
funny how we black some things out, or just not even like,
Yeah.
because there's so much that happens over the weekend. You can't imagine to remember everything.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that this was a unanimous vote. I can't remember.
Not at all.
Was it?
No.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
This vote was.
And there's one little flip vote
This
that
vote
I don't
was
know if you know who
weird.
voted for Lexi. So
okay. Well, I'm excited to see this, but Jack does end up being the first one eliminated. And I mean, I was elated that you stayed, but I was also really sad out of when people apply, I asked them questions and they submit a video. And I remember watching Jack's video on our production call, and we all really enjoyed the things that he had to say. He was a professional, or not a professional, but like a collegiate Quidditch player running around fields with broomsticks between his legs. I mean, like, we were like, this guy's gonna kill it. He's
He
gonna
was a
run
production
the game.
favorite.
Yeah, I really, really thought that Jack was gonna go deep into this game. So to see him up round, and he was close to winning that HOH. I'm always wondering, like, oh, what if Jack took that? I really can't remember who the final 3 were, but I think it was like Josh, Jack, Stacy, and Nick were like the top.
I would say I think Jack was on the top tier for sure.
Yeah, because he was winning for a while, and then I think Josh beat him, and then I
Mhm.
think Nick beat Josh. Was kind of like what was happening or something. And then he goes, and we were bummed, but we were thrilled that you were staying, but we were bummed. So I'm very excited to watch these confessionals and to see what people are saying, because this is
I'm nervous.
completely new to me and completely new to you, Lexi.
Payton had a little sneak preview, and he caught the one typo. So Antonio, I apologize. I typed one thing wrong. I'll try better next time. Spelling, not my thing.
But
Even though I made up the
play
spelling.
this, I'm gonna go into our season 2 alumni chat and kind of just let them know that we're playing the confessionals right now,
Mhm.
in case anybody wants to hop on. So I'm listening. You can go ahead.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna see if I can rally the troops here.
All right. Let me know if you can hear this. Quick little thumbs up, and I'll stop it. No sound at first, but I want some Harry Potter music later from you, Bill, to put in here. Okay. So this was the first question.
My what?
Your initial thoughts about your
Oh,
classmates.
It's a great group. I mean, last night was a lot of getting to meet people. I've known some of these people, but reconnecting with them has been fun. And then meeting the new people that I don't know has been a lot of fun too.
I really like everybody, and it's kind of hard to tell where people stand right now because it's round 1.
I really like them, so I mean, I'm not gonna have any hard.
Everybody, I think, has a pretty good vibe so far. Everybody seems
This
really
is so good,
enjoying it. I
Dustin.
don't feel like it's been too messy yet.
I think that I don't trust a lot of them.
I've been hearing a couple things. I'm just hoping that people are going to stay true to what they're saying.
So I feel like everyone's got a really chill vibe, so we're really getting along.
I think we have a really great group. I think everyone gets along really well. It's going to be sad to have to start eliminating people.
I like it. It's a good group. Obviously, we had a good night. Everybody's enjoying, but today is day 2, so it's going to be chaotic because I know a lot of people and they're just chaotic and messy, including myself. So there's that.
Oh, initial thoughts. There's some characters here, all right. There are some characters.
Everybody's pretty chill, except for one person. She's a little much, but that's okay. But I like her, but Erica's a lot. She's a lot. So,
And yeah, but there's definitely some characters here. I'm not ready to divulge names yet, but there's some characters.
And remember, this is not live, so you're welcome. This will air after the show.
Oh.
Yes, we're not live.
About anything.
Listen, Erica's a character.
I feel like I really can't do, or like who to trust and who like kind of not to. I'm in a couple of alliances right now, so hopefully I will be later.
Friggin' love her.
I'm really excited.
She's part of my house. She tried to pull all of us Slytherins together and say, "Hey, we can't vote each other." We're all like, "Yeah." Quite honestly, I was sorry, Erica, when you see this, but I was pulling for you to be a nominee. But now we got Jack and Lex up there, and
I think me and my team came to like a really good consensus on like who we're going to save. And pretty much they'll probably be a good benefit to us. Fingers crossed. They don't backstab us after we save their ass. So yeah.
I know Gryffindor has several people from Gryffindor have approached me and said they want to work with Ravenclaw. From Slytherin have said the same thing. I'm definitely talking it up with the people that I don't know. Talked extensively with Benji and Lexi last night, letting them know that I definitely want to work with them because they're new people and that's how I'd like to roll. So
I think I'm in a good spot so far. Everybody seems to want to work with the Ravenclaws, and I'm like, yes, I'm good with that.
I think that the person who I'm going to vote for is a stronger competitor than the person I'm not going to Last night was pretty eventful. A
Oh,
lot of
Josh.
people here kind of know each other in some ways or another, so I'm going to try to like rip and pull that apart if I can. And you know, it's going to be a hell of a day. I already know it.
I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I've done a Big Brother game and I kind of laid back, and that didn't work to my favor. So maybe I'll do what I promised to do and win some things, make some moves.
Lovely, lovely cast. Very, very diverse group of people. I love getting to spend time with them and downtime with them. I vote to expel Lexi. It's not me.
I am.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like I already know Jack. I don't know Lexi. This is her first game, so I would like to continue to build that relationship.
So I'm going to expel Jack. Only because when we did talk to him, it didn't seem like he would be a great benefit to us. And then when we was talking to him to see if we should use a veto on him, he was like, definitely just give it to Lexi. So I'm like, if you're not gonna play, then why are you here? So yeah.
What was interesting, Hufflepuff's up there. My wife's on the other side with the other person, so I'm kind of caught in the situation. But fuck all of them. I'll just do what I want. I always do anyway. I'm gonna vote however I want, regardless of what I say. So, because in this scenario, not every time, but in this scenario, because everybody assumed I'm automatically voting Hufflepuff. So this round right here, I'm saving Jack. I don't want to go home by himself. So that's all there is to it. I still love you though, Lexi. It was not like that.
Interesting.
I can't justify voting out another Gryffindor right now, so I'm going to be voting to evict Jack.
I sadly vote to evict Lexi. Well,
Pete?
I would be voting loyalty this round because I have another.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm going to vote Jack out. I'm kind of torn still between both of them. I like them both, but based off of kind of like the way that the veto was said last night by Jack, he was like, if you're going to use the veto, use it on Lexi. And I was like, that to me was, I guess, kind of chivalrous, but kind of dumb at the same time. So that's where my.
How did I miss that? I just totally don't remember that at all.
We had a lot going on.
What I know is the Gryffindors want to work with the Ravenclaws going forward, at least for now. So I'm just going to stick with that, and then maybe farther down the line we'll try to make some other things happen.
Antonio's like, I'm just gonna work with these people until I don't need them anymore.
But unfortunately, I have to go to
Jack. I am voting this way simply because I think it's what's best for my game. I think that they are less
Her and Dawn voted separately.
and all around competition and social based.
I'm not afraid to vote how I want to vote, so that's exactly what I'm going to do.
All right. Speaking of how you're voting, who are you expelling?
Which nice shirt. What are the names of the nominees?
Lexi and Jack.
Oh, jeez,
I'm
Josh.
not afraid to vote with against the house. So I gave him my words. My vote will be to evict Lexi.
I sadly vote to evict Jack. My vote's going to be for Jack today. I feel like he's given up. You know, how he told everybody, if he told Ray, if you're going to use the veto, use it on Lex. Kind of seemed like he's throwing in the towel. And I feel
It was
Lex
a
has
huge
been more
chapter.
social, and Jack's more, I'm here. That's it.
People were pissed off.
I think she wants to be here more, and with it being the first vote, and Jack being an athletic kid, he fits that demographic, 21 to 30, white guy, athletic, he's handsome. So yeah, I think the best thing for my game, get him out now since he's on.
So real.
There we go, folks.
That was so good, Dustin. I'll just do it exactly like that every single time, and
I'll spell Antonia correctly this time. Payton caught that, so.
Okay, so it was Benji, Don, Pete, and
Josh. No, not Pete.
Lexi out.
Yeah.
No, Pete. Yeah, Pete.
I'm shocked about Don.
Don, voted against you.
Shocked.
So then we have the announcement here. And I don't really remember what your reactions were, so we could just go ahead and play this really quick.
I'm like shaking.
Jack is like, I'm ready to go.
In-house, thank you again for playing. But I do have a vote count, which means that we are about to lose our first student of Hogwarts who just couldn't navigate the alleyways of Diagon Alley, make it to the castle on time to begin their semester at school. By a vote.
I'm such a
Can I have my coffee?
I forgot I did that.
By a vote of 8-4. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Lexi, congratulations on surviving the block. You will now go ahead with Payton. And
Me clapping for her.
For surviving. And Jack, I'll give you a few moments to see your dice.
And then I think we.
All right, if we want to do hugs or high fives or whatever, we can do that. And then Jack, you'll go with Chris for your.
And I don't remember if his exit interview is on here or not.
That's pretty good.
It is, which I also haven't seen.
All right, I'm going to bring you over here. Jack, hate to see ya. You are the first official vote out of Big Brother Hogwarts. Walk me through, what do you think happened here?
I think it's just tough. I don't know a lot of people, which is frustrating. And Lexi, it's her first time playing, so it's hard to send her back to the first one.
The official vote was 8-4. So you did have some people that voted to save you. Do you have any idea of who those people might have been? Do you know, were you expecting more? Did you expect less? What were you thinking?
I don't know who the votes were, but I think I had Peter and Antonio on my side. Don said he was going to vote with me. 4 was pretty good. 4 was better than what I was going to vote.
You thought Antonio was
Did you think you were going to have less?
I thought I was going to get 1. I thought they were going to vote unanimous, but Don was going to do the same thing.
Okay. So what, I know you didn't have very long to, play in this game. Were you up late strategizing last night? What was your pitch to have them try and keep you?
Yeah, the same. I made the same sort of pitch to everyone. Just, like, I'm going to be trying to be genuine and loyal and stick with the same people. I guess it wasn't enough.
All right. Well, any final words for the camera over here before we say goodbye?
Hope everybody has fun. It's a great game.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jack. And there you.
All right. So then Jack took off and unfortunately couldn't stick around. So I didn't really get to interact with him that much, but it was wonderful having him. I would host him again in a heartbeat. He was just so pretty, wasn't he? Thanks for playing. Thanks for playing, Jack. And then while that was happening, you had a very important responsibility here. You got to. It's not letting me do this.
Take a card.
That's all right. I have it on here.
And this is one thing that I don't know.
You got to pick the card. Yeah. So I only have a picture of it. But there you are, picking your little chunk of the wizard card out of the cauldron. What was when you pulled it, what were you thinking? Did you look at it and you were like, what the heck is this thing? Like, what did you think this was going to be a target? What was going through your head when you picked the card?
So instantly I feel like I went into kind of a panic mode because I'm like, okay, cool. So now everyone knows that I've gotten to pick a card. And now all eyes are on me to see who I tell or who I share it with, or who I tell who I shared it with. And I didn't have it pre-planned because I didn't know that these were going to be the rules. So I was really just trying to figure out how I was going to play it and come across as least suspicious as I could.
Now, it was you, Nick, and Ray all got a card that round because it was the winner of every comp and then the person who survived the block. So did the three of you come together and share your cards right away, or did the three of you not even talk about what you drew and just ignored it completely?
So Ray never told me. I knew.
Wow.
I think I was new to the rules, and so I kind of was worried about multiple things at once. I should have known that Ray would have gotten one, but I think my mind was in a million places that night and in the morning. So I completely forgot until Ray got put up on the block himself. And then me and Nick were not close, so I didn't talk to Nick about it. So I
Yeah,
didn't
you had the same card as Ray.
found that out.
Yeah, the two of you ended up having enough pieces, right? Yeah.
The whole time you two had it, I was like screaming in my head because like my two favorite players had the cards and I weren't talking to each other.
just share. That was also really fun because we had a little chat, like a little prod chat going on, and Payton would always be like, Lexi and Ray have the same cards. Tori has enough. He just needs to talk to Nick. Oh my God, they're about to find all of the frogs. And like, I have no idea what's going on and who y'all are talking to. So to like kind of live that through Payton while he was like watching you all communicate or not communicate was like a really awesome kind of new and unique element to the game that season 1 did not have, at least on the production side. It was really cool.
I feel like the funniest part about it is that me and Ray never shared that we like our cards at all, but everybody thought that we were a team. Everybody thought that we were the strongest ally in the game, like ride or die, and that was not the case. I don't know where that came from. I'm excited to find out, but I feel like that was interesting too.
Yeah,
and we'll only find out after more of these discussions,
right?
Yeah. Well, I know I don't want to keep this going for too much longer because we're already at an hour here, and I'd love to kind of keep the episodes around 60 minutes. So I guess what I want to do is I want to turn it over to Payton and Lexi. Any final thoughts, shout outs, questions that you had about the game, or like really interesting things that you saw or kind of lived through for round 1, or anything you want to say to potential players or the viewers that are watching right now?
I want to say cheers.
Are you taking another one? I have a little left.
Yes.
Cheers.
I don't have it on me. I'd have to. I'll hit
Cheers. Woo. On a scale of 1 to 10, Lex, how proud of yourself are you?
10.
10? You did something you never did before. You met a bunch of people you never would have met ever. Do you still talk to anybody?
I do. I still keep up with people.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was very glad to get the experience I got. I didn't know what to expect going into it, and I feel like I miss it. You know, it was so fun. It was not what I was expecting. I met so many cool people. I got to form so many new relationships, and I still keep up with them. They're sweet. I love it. I love it.
And you got Miss Congeniality, so it just goes to show that, like, if you're thinking about playing and you've never played, like, you can play and, like, slay. Like, you don't have to be, like, a freaking OG vet to play these things. Like, you can come in not knowing anything and win Miss Congeniality.
I mean, just be yourself. Just talk and get to know as many people as you can. Do it for the fun of it. That's what I did. I really recommend it to anybody that's never done it before.
Thank you. Payton, what was your favorite part about being on production?
My most favorite and most exhausting was literally I just got to see everything like firsthand because I had to be around for the power thing. So I knew what was going on 24/7, but it was also fucking exhausting. So don't make me do that again, please. But yeah, that was my most favorite thing. I got to get close to the players without actually playing, so it was nice.
Awesome.
Lexi, honestly, me and Lexi talk like every day. So
every time I won the block, me and Payton would like run out into the backyard and like jump up and down like a little.
So fucking funny.
I love that. Well, I I don't have like a cool little thing. I'm gonna make a bunch of graphics and videos for episode 2, hopefully, maybe episode 3. Don't quote me on that, but I want an intro.
Let's not make those promises, baby. You're busy.
my iMovie is going bonkers today. I couldn't edit anything. I'm so annoyed by it. But I do want to end with every episode. I want to give a little bit of insight or a tiny little clue of what you can expect for season 3. So I don't want to give too much away because obviously I don't want people to pregame and start thinking about ways to kind of fight the twists or whatever. But I want to drop little breadcrumbs. It's kind of tradition. I think that we've done it in season 1. I did it leading up to season 2, and I really want to continue leading up to season 3. And while I don't want to reveal too much because there's a bunch of episodes of these recaps to come, so I have to be very careful with what I say and how I say it, because if I reveal way too much too soon, that'll be really bad. But I want to reveal enough where it feels like it's substance. So the first thing that I want to say about season 3 is we are very, very excited. And for those of you that watched the reunion, you already know this, but we are super excited to add an additional day to the schedule. At the end of the season, I always have my players take a survey and I ask them a bunch of questions about their experience, ranking challenges, food, that kind of stuff. And one of the biggest comments that we got or pieces of constructive criticism was that the players really felt that had we added an extra day, they would have had a little bit more time to strategize. In which my head, I'm like, you have like all night to strategize, but whatever. So we decided to add an extra day to season 3. So it's going to be a Thursday to a Monday morning rather than a Friday to a Monday morning. So I'm very excited to see how that changes the way that the game is played for however much longer that is going to play. And the clue that I have for season 3 to start to get your gears moving and to get your little thinking muscles flexing is I don't want to I just want to reveal it all right now, but I can't reveal it all. I got to be really, really good. You know what? It is a typical Big Brother thing to say, but I didn't really say it for season 1 and I didn't really say it for season 2, but for season 3, you absolutely should expect the unexpected.
I was like, you're
We
not.
will go that with your big clue for season 3. We got some cool things planned, and I'm excited to show you eventually next July. We still got to get through the holidays first, but applications are still open. They close on Halloween night. So if you're teetering between applying or not applying, please do so. DM me, DM Dustyn, DM Payton, DM Lexi. We can all help you fill out an application. We want you to be part of the family. Our family is growing, and we can't wait to see
And they're not as long as last year's. So don't worry, folks.
Yes.
Mhm.
They're probably almost exactly the same.
Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
But it's fun.
Expect an essay, okay, y'all. Be ready.
It's very themed. I mean, this game, from the moment you open the application to the minute you're eliminated from the game, it is full force immersion into the wizarding world. You are all themed around Harry Potter. Again, no Harry Potter knowledge required, no Big Brother knowledge required. The only thing that you should expect is the unexpected for season 3. So that's all I'll say for today. I'll think of a better clue for next week. I promise. Any final words before we take off, Dustyn?
And just make sure you follow us on Facebook. So make sure you search for Big Brother Hogwarts. And of course, catch up to anything live reality game related. So even if Big Brother, maybe Hogwarts isn't your thing, there's a ton of other great games. You know, we mentioned Survive earlier. And then just as we were doing shots, Fireball Idol. Shout out to Calgary that's playing right now. Actually just finished, but I'm catching up on it. Great episodes as well. So just make sure you follow us and keep up to date with that. And hope to see you in the
follow
applications.
The Ascendance Live reveal. The Ascendance Live people are putting out their cast right now. So
oh yeah, Ascendance Live, which Nicole, who hosts that, played my season 1 of the org, and Nick is a previous player. Payton's a previous player.
And Nicole won.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
and then Chris, our production member, is on this season coming up.
Chris is competing on this season. Yep. So you will see some familiar faces, I think, in Ascendance. So to kind of end our episode here I can't share it, but I had a little graphic that had Jack kind of ghosted out. I will figure out how to do all that for next week so we can keep track of Stacy's going. Did Stacy compete?
Well, no, we're not mentioning Stacy is playing.
Oh,
I
and
thought
Stacey is
you were
also
leading
playing.
into that, folks, and then we
Stacey
just
is
dropped it.
revealed. Stacey, who won our game, was also revealed on Ascendance Live.
Alex, who played season 1, is also in the game, right? So
Yeah, I know they got this whole little thing that they do, and they drop people every day. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm sorry, Stacey. I didn't know that they revealed you already. I'm trying to be good. I don't want to ruin everything. So right now, of the 16 people that were playing, there are 15 left. Jack, as the Hufflepuff, was the first person eliminated from Big Brother Hogwarts. If you didn't watch it while we were live in July, tune in next Wednesday at 8:30, 9:30 Eastern time to see who won HOH, who was nominated, who our special guests are going to be, and get us one step closer to figuring out the winner of BBH 2 and more clues into BBH 3. Thank you for joining us, Lexi. Thank you for joining us, Payton. Thank you to Dustyn and everybody at LRG for all of the help that they give Big Brother Hogwarts and all of the other live reality games out there. Keep playing, keep applying, and bring as many people as you know in our community so we don't have to keep playing against the same 18 people over and over and over again. That would be really wonderful, right? All right. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.